big keen about is making sure they walk through a stage of assessing every kind of information they find on the internet. In order to ensure that we grow the trust and confidence of every kind of user, as the providers of services like e-commerce services and organizations that are providing digital services should all invest in creating awareness for everyone to appreciate and understand the approaches for making sure that the cyberspace we are introducing the users to is safe and secure for every kind of user. This means that the businesses, the regulators, government, donors, and everyone that is interested in making sure we achieve digital inclusion promotes and contributes to budgets of promoting awareness for creating a secure and a trusted digital space.
To get information on how to secure their accusation of their digital addresses, people should look for organizations that support inclusiveness.
Still a few people that can be trusted and organizations. Look for those organizations. I mean, for instance, High People has for the last 18 years been advocating for inclusion. We are out there and open to supporting some people, sometimes even free of charge. I mean, with information, you are setting up a company, we can tell you the steps of actually acquiring your digital address securely. And keep it like you keep your life and your money.
One should make sure the system is secure and encrypted. They should perform system audits in their logins to track who uses the system and what they do on it. And they should make sure that the passwords are encrypted according to Smart 24 TV's discussion with Kansime Hamza, CEO Trinscroft Technologies.
To ensure your system is so secure, it's encrypted. Then we do system auditing, that's in logins. You need to understand the sessions. Why I say sessions, one, as a company or an organization must ensure that at any moment, whoever accesses their system, they can understand who. Those are in logins. We try to monitor who accessed what, who did which process on the system, what transaction happened at this time. So as a system administrator, you must ensure there are those measures in place, that at any moment, if I'm an administrator of a given system, and an employee tries to access the administration panel, I should be able to understand that this is so-and-so who has accessed the system. So in case of any manipulation, I can easily trace who did what. So in my opinion, I think those systems are secure, the Jumia stuff. But what we need to ensure is now, how do we protect from vulnerabilities outside? That we always monitor those sessions, who has accessed what. Then we need to ensure that our passwords are normally changed. Then the other thing, let's not look at the Jumia part, we look at the client's end. If it's a client, let's always ensure that their passwords are always encrypted. As a person in Jumia, as an administrator, I shouldn't be able to view the client's password at any moment. In basic times we could use, there are some methods we use to encrypt those passwords that they are not visible. It's only the client that knows the password and no one in an organization. Why we normally do that is to avoid instances that I might act as a client and order something.
When it comes to privacy, digital marketers should exercise extreme vigilance in the face of rapidly expanding digital markets. The alteration of data by online criminals can damage a company's reputation. Martha Nimsima, Smart 24 TV, driving business.
That is cybersecurity, its role in digital marketing. I was so interested by the aspect of using encrypted passwords. That's something that is very important, because if you really search, you realize that hundreds and thousands of websites are hacked on a daily basis by quite a number of people. So imagine you have very important information right there, and of course you lose it because of the hackers. Hackers are doing their job day by day. So cybersecurity is something very important to ensure that as a digital marketeer, you own probably a platform, an e-commerce platform. It's very important that you put that aspect. You get those protective firewalls and ensure that no one can actually enter into your system and destroy and tarnish probably your products. They could actually post wrong products and they paint a bad image for your digital marketing company. And now that's it for digital marketing. And now let's cross over to the bag business. And this time around, we evaluate the importance of the bag industry in terms of dependability, profitability, and also what one needs to operate. The details.
The COVID-19 pandemic had a detrimental effect on bags and baggage in 2020 as the current value and volume sales fell. Although growth in the bag and baggage market is anticipated for 2022, a complete recovery is not anticipated. According to one of the handbag importers, the majority of high-quality bags originate from China, Dubai, Turkey, and Hong Kong, and they come in a variety of materials such as leather, cotton, and plastics. He also notes variable taxation, which has an impact on the business and some of the tax determinants.
Taxes are not constant. Remember, we pay in dollars. As the dollar rises, the taxes also increase. When they are charging the taxes, they base on the values you bought the item. They check the value and quality. Remember, you have to pay tax to the nation, so this can't stop you from trading.
Smart24 TV spoke with a few customers that deal in suitcase, and they displayed various types of bags and their costs. They described how COVID-19 pandemic left all businesses in a terrible position and forced several to close. They also described how they are recovering from the pandemic.
HP. The bags which majority of Ugandans use is Panasol, which costed 28,000 before, but now costing 35,000. Another one is Power Enevas, which was 60,000 and now costing 80,000. Things changed and customers are no longer purchasing like before. For example, if somebody used to sell 3 cartons, now it's not possible. We used to have a market outside Uganda, for example in Tanzania and Congo, but mainly Congolese used to buy these items, but the turn-up is low due to the pandemic.
Design Nambiro, Smart24 TV, Business Today.
That's regarding the bag business, and of course, we know that before the COVID-19 pandemic, it was quite a boosting business for the Ugandans in town right there. And majority of the people that used to buy these bags were the people from Congo, Tanzania. But ever since the pandemic, the pickup has been quite slow. Though there is an expectation for a boost, though not yet. Still, the dealers are not yet sure what the future holds regarding that very industry. And that's the bag business. And now let's cross over to the Uganda Innovation Week that is yet to take place in November. Now the question is, what's the background of this week? Of course, it starts with nearly 10% of young people in Uganda are now able to launch their own farms due to entrepreneurial opportunities. But though these figures are remarkable, the majority of these entrepreneurs fail within the first year of existence. And this in a light of this, Startup Uganda will conduct the annual Innovation Week that's in Kampala from November 22nd up to November 24th, 2022, with the phrase Uganda's entrepreneurial ecosystem to unlock the missing links. The details.
The majority of governments promote the rise of entrepreneurship as an engine for economic progress. Despite their major significance and their contribution to the economic growth, businesses continue to encounter a number of obstacles that prevent their expansion. This is evident both globally and in Uganda specifically. Startup Uganda has so invited innovators from all throughout the country to find out the missing connection.
To why the theme this year is Uganda's entrepreneurial ecosystem, unlocking the missing links. In Uganda's case, and during the Innovation Week, we will hear from some of our colleagues that have been doing research around our entrepreneurial ecosystem, sharing some key insights of what's been happening. We think what's happening in Uganda, generally speaking, is there's lack of fluidity, and we seem to be operating in a disjointed fashion, and yet all the academic literature and research suggests that successful entrepreneurial ecosystem are those that are linked up properly. So day one is going to be, the theme for day one is going to focus mostly on industry and academia. Here we're looking at knowledge creation, innovation, and economic growth.
I believe that us coming together and understanding the challenges that different entrepreneurs face and how we can work together as entrepreneurship support organizations, as different financing partners, to ensure that, you know, while these entrepreneurs receive technical assistance, business learning, business development support, they are rest assured that whichever kind of ticket financing they need for their business, they are able to receive.
According to representatives of Startup Uganda, they want to include key players in the nation's startup ecosystem in the discussion that will be taking place during the Uganda Innovation Week. Participants can anticipate hearing from representatives of the Uganda Revenue Authority to further discuss providing tax exemptions to startups, since it is one of the problems at the event that aims to celebrate innovations.
A journey of understanding what is missing, how do we contribute, and then assess what's missing and how do we contribute, and it's a continuous iteration. I'm glad that we'll be hearing about a report that will be published at the Uganda Innovation Week on where we are as an ecosystem today. And while we don't expect to be where we need to be, but there are strides that have been taken and there are achievements that have been taken, and hopefully, so the Uganda Innovation Week, I'm very sorry, is that week where we sit and say, let's celebrate what has been achieved, let's sober up to what is yet to be achieved, and let's see what we can do in the next year.
Collaborate when you partner together, great things happen. And I like that it starts with Startup Uganda, goes down to the tech hubs, and then the startups are able to emulate that. There's a lot of competition among the startups, which is very, very good, but I think it's also critical for them to know that you can actually collaborate. The cake is so big.
The high cost of energy in comparison to other parts of Africa, as well as shortages in road, water and power in many districts of the country, are some of the main issues that enterprises in Uganda confront. Business leaders therefore anticipate that the Uganda Annual Innovation Week will address these concerns and bring them to the attention of the decision makers. Bedson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV.
That's regarding the innovation that is going to take place. That's in November. That's with us, an initiative by Startup Uganda. And when we talk about innovations, we have them in two types. We have the tech-based innovations, but there are also entrepreneurial innovations which stand for another way to do business. Yes, and Uganda currently, like the report stated, quite so many youths actually are able to start up their own enterprises, their own initiatives, but the challenge comes in that those initiatives don't go. Some don't even see their first birthday, and that's quite a big challenge. And also those that are already in existence, they never really go far. They stay at that level, and no development takes place right there, and that's something that is very tricky. So with this initiative, there is going to be an empowerment to ensure that actually these innovations come to life and are fully embraced by the Ugandans, and really we see the fruit of them. And I believe we shall be able to see businesses that are spending, of course, 2 years of their birthday, that will be made possible by that initiative. Quite something so interesting. And now let's cross over to the memorandum. That's Post Bank signing a memorandum of understanding with the Federation of Small and Intermediary Enterprises. And of course, this was supported by the notion that small and intermediary enterprises are essential to the expansion of the national economy. A memorandum of understanding between Post Bank and the Federation of Small and Intermediary Enterprises has been linked in order to teach agro-based small and intermediary enterprises in financial literacy skills and development. The Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises has also received 80 million Ugandan shillings from Post Bank. The details.
Small and medium-sized businesses are essential to the expansion of the economy. A stable and favorable environment fosters their development and increases trade in general. According to the Managing Director of Postbank, the COVID-19 and inflation pressures that have caused disruption in the SME sector are the reasons for the decision to support SMEs.
Without a doubt, we are all aware that SMEs are very critical to the growth of our economy, and hence we've zeroed on supporting SMEs. Their challenges are many, but I'll just list a few. One of the challenges is access to affordable financing. There are gaps in terms of technologies that they deploy, knowledge gaps, and then of course, access to markets. And when you talk about SMEs at Postbank, we focus a lot on SMEs, especially those involved in the agriculture value chain. So they are also impacted as well. Therefore, through this partnership with the Federation, we intend to equip SMEs with entrepreneurial and value addition skills, financial literacy, investment readiness, support access to appropriate technologies, and provide knowledge on product certification, branding, and market linkages, to mention but a few. Our target is to train over 500 SMEs in critical locations that we've identified with the Federation. And for this year, like I've mentioned, this is a journey. For this year, we shall start with Arua, Lira, Mbarara, and Kampala, targeting 500 SMEs. That is about 125 for each region. The training will run for 5 days.
Based on their level of competition, a variety of agricultural products from various areas have been established.
In partnering with Postbank, we believe that we shall also make these SMEs bankable. Therefore, we have decided to start in 4 areas. As Mr. Kaketo mentioned, we are starting in Kampala, Arua, we are going to Lira, and we shall also focus on Mbarara. In each of these areas, we have identified particular value chains of products in which we shall focus. In Mbarara, we are going to focus on dairy. In Lira, we are going to focus on the maize value chain. In Kampala, we are going to focus on fresh fruits and vegetables. And in Arua, we are going to focus on honey. In each of these areas, these products are ones that we consider to have some form of competitive advantage. Therefore, we are going to support 25 SMEs by skilling them, giving them technical skills training, and then we shall crown it up with an additional 100 SMEs in each location that we shall offer financial literacy skills. So ultimately, we shall have more than 500 SMEs that we are going to support in this year alone. This initiative is unique because it's combining both financial literacy training and technical skills training.
The majority of businesses in Uganda are micro and small enterprises. Each year, dozens of firms start up, yet many of them fail only after a few years. However, experts believe that these companies are the ones that can transform Uganda. Rona Nahabwe, Business Today, Smart 24 TV.
That's regarding that's the Federation of Small and Intermediate Enterprises signing a memorandum of understanding with Postbank, and of course this is meant to breed quite very interesting results regarding the business world. But in particular, the main focus was the intermediary enterprises that are dealing in agriculture to teach them financial literacy skills and development at the same time. And let's wind up this with the back to school. Today is the 3rd day since the schools reported officially, and that was on Monday. And of course, looking at this being the 3rd day, there is a low turn-up of learners for the academic year, which has left school heads and of course and proprietors worried about the numbers, especially those reporting directly. This really means that the schools are earning low revenues, yet there are high prices of the materials, for example, the food prices, which are being used by the schools, and some of the schools are actually relying on donors. Let's have the details of this report.
How are you?
According to the Ministry of Education and Sports, 5th September 2022 was the official day for schools to reopen after students took 1 month off for holidays. Although it is only the second day of learning, school administrators argue that this is not the time to celebrate because the majority of students have not yet returned to class. Despite this, they still remain hopeful. They contend that the low number of students who show up for class each day results in poor revenues, which many of them rely on to maintain the schools.
Also worried of the current situation, economic situation, because we are not on our own island. We are in Uganda, and the economy dictates a lot. This is a challenging term, third term, where we have UNEB exams, where we have promotion exams for senior 3, senior 3, 5, and other classes. So we believe it's not going to be easy on the side of managers, but as always, a manager has to find a way.
NAP has not been so big, it is still small. Yeah.
What could be the problem?
Problem is with parents, they don't have money now.
Turn up is not so bad. We have received quite a number of students in all classes, and we assume by the end of this week, all know the economic situation in the country. So our parents are still struggling to get fees, to get school requirements. But I know, and we have hopes, towards the end of this week, all our learners will be with us.
The current economic situation in the country has caused some of the schools to hike their tuition fees by at least 10% from the normal tuition that was paid the previous 2 terms.
Being a small increment in our fees to cater for the needs. To cater for the needs, as we all know, things are now increasing day and night.
Just something small. It was not too big. It was very small, like 50,000.
So currently, how much do they pay and how much were they paying? For example, the Form 1.
Form 1s recently they were paying 280, now they are paying 300. An increment of 20,000 for the day scholars and boarders, 600, now 650. An increment of 50,000.
Smart 24 TV spoke to several students who shared expectations for their promotional term.
New term, we expect a lot. First of all, we expect to perform well by the end of this year. And secondly, maybe we expect to be promoted to other classes.
Really, sometimes expect to always find like some new changes in our school. When we report back to school, I literally think that sometimes I'll find newcomers, yeah? You know those newcomers. I'll get new friends. I'll add on what I have, what I've gained in the holidays. I'll come and bring it to the school, and I see what we can literally, I can combine them together and then like try to make something better.
Expect my teachers to be handling us in time, giving us what we are supposed to be having, in that it can help us to pass our UNEB, since we are only having, I think, 1 month and like 1 week. So the only thing that we need, our teachers to discover what can easily make us pass our exams we are soon doing.
Expectation is very good because this term is very serious. The last term we are going to the next classes, experiencing new things as we go at a higher level in our academics.
Apart from the candidate classes, other students will be at school for 14 weeks of the term until the 9th of December 2022. Naomi Mtumba, Business Today, Smart 24 TV.
That's the Back to School initiative. And of course, today is the 3rd day as the students are reporting back to school. And of course, we wish them the best, and most especially for those that it's their promotion time, and for the candidates also the best into your examinations as you proceed to higher levels. And that's it for the recap this morning. We are going to get into a short commercial break. Stick around, we return.
Smart 24, driving business.
The taste of Uganda in a new international park.
Forget last season. Forget the oohs and the ahs. Forget every moment that stole the show. Because the real show is here on GoTV. It's the new season. It's action-packed and it's going to be non-stop football. With over 1,000 games from more than 7 leagues and cup competitions plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seat in the house this new football season. Get a GoCoder with 1 month of GoTV value for only 25,000 Uganda shillings and enjoy non-stop football. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
Either tell us what we want to know, or your story ends here. Are you ready to talk?
Oshitegeera kati sanyu ne boyfriend we bagwe bati oluji nga muzeyi kiro balwa nkubirako wano mpeme dakika 2.
For stories you can't let go, only on Pearl Magic Prime.
World Cup in the desert, the first one in the Middle East, the first to be held at the end of the year. That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On GoTV. Love it.
Whether it is Katogo, Chikomando, Rolex Majasa to Nyanyambisi. Man, wherever I am, I enjoy Chinayu with your TV channels on my phone.
Enjoy a new world of entertainment with over 80 TV and radio channels, plus movies from wherever you are. Download the YoTV Channels app from your app store and enjoy 30 days of free streaming with MTN.
YoTV Channels.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292#. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest.
Vimba ne MTN kabode super esimu ya sereza nga bw'ogisasulira mpola mpola kuba amasimu kyusa zi status za WhatsApp laba bu video ku YouTube oba kozesa Google okumanya buli ekiri wansi w'enjuba ku GB 2 ze tukuweza buli mwezi okumala emyezi 7 sasulako emitwalo 99 zokka ezisigadde osasula mpola mpola kati okola ki leero genda ku dduuka lya MTN erikuli okumpi weefunire MTN kabode super mangu mangu.
Smart 24, driving business.
You're back. Welcome back from that short commercial break, and at this very time let's take a look at the press release as we look at the top stories into the different that's the newspapers, and I'm going to start with the New Vision. As I was cross-checking here, I came across something that is very interesting that definitely every Ugandan would like to hear. Fuel prices start dropping, and of course, according to the report here, Ugandans can finally have a sigh of relief after prices of fuel in the country have started dropping. And of course, the drop that has been realized at several filling stations in Kampala, the neighboring suburbs, is being attributed to many reasons, including the drop in the world prices of crude oil. And of course, that's really quite something very interesting. And of course, a survey done shows that petrol, of course, a survey done by the local, of course, researchers within the country, and some of these actually are journalists, shows that petrol was going for as low as 6,400. That's down from 6,620. Actually, yes, at some petrol stations it's at 6,595. 90, sorry, not 95, 90. So you can see that's down from 6,620. That's last month. Diesel is now going for as low as 5,800. That's per liter, down from an average of 6,300. I think that's something quite remarkable. However, the prices are not uniform, as there are some filling stations which have slightly lowered their pump prices. Of course, currently the biggest prices have been noticed at Total and Shell filling stations in and around Kampala, with most of them selling petrol at 6,590 Ugandan shillings, down from 6,620. The same stations are selling diesel at that's between 6,150 shillings and 6,170 shillings, and that's down from 6,300. As I continue with this interesting report, the filling stations like Shell in Bugolobi were selling petrol at 6,500, down from 6,600 last month, and diesel at 6,170, down from 6,200 Ugandan shillings. So you can see, as we compare the prices right there, and quite so many petrol stations. I may not mention them all here, and but that's really something that is very, very remarkable. And of course, it follows the decline in the prices of crude oil globally. So that is something we expect. Probably this could get much more better. It can be probably one of the solutions to economic recovery. And as I continued reviewing, the government earmarks, that's still in the new vision, government earmarks 26 billion Ugandan shillings to skill over 2,400 youths. According to the report here, more than 2,400 Ugandan youths will be equipped with vocational schools that are currently needed in the job market. The State Minister for Higher Education, that's Johnson Chryso Muyingo, said this program is worth 26.7 billion, and that will run for 6 months. So it's going to be a 6 months program to train youth to obtain practical skills. A little comment regarding the practical skills. I find that actually in the Western world, majority of the work that is done right there, majority is really practical. It's quite unfortunate that in Uganda, we always take such people not to be really educated. We take them to be, we underestimate their capabilities, but this is what is really selling out there, the practicability, and this is something quite a great initiative. Of course, still on the report, he said the program began in 2019, but it was disrupted by the COVID-19 outbreak in March 2020. However, 2 years later, the Education Ministry and the government of South Korea, through the Korea International Cooperation Agency, is poised to bring it back to life. So that's something very remarkable right there. And of course, it will run as a specialized technical vocational education training program under the Education Ministry in collaboration with the government of South Korea. That's through that organization. That's a statement that was said by Muyingo. That's, of course, the Minister for Higher Education. And as I continue in this very report, while launching the program dubbed Capacity Building for Industry Demand, Demand Best. Of course, Capacity Building, Industry Demand Best. In Uganda, at the Golf Course Hotel, that's last Friday, Muyingo said that getting such skills among the youth was one of the pillars of ending the long-lasting cycle of unemployment. And you see, it's very important that these youths, once they can engage into practical abilities, practical skills, they will be in position to actually be able to earn a living right there through their practical skills. And I come to realize that most of these engineers actually, if you really work right there in the garages or different areas where they repair different materials, it could actually be even electric devices. A majority of these people, at least a day breaks when they have a 5,000, a 10,000, or a 20,000. Probably if the day is the worst, it could be 5,000 or 10,000. So it all comes back to the skills. So such a program to equip the youth with skills is very, very important. And actually the level, its intention is to end the long-lasting cycle of poverty, most especially amongst the youth. And besides ending the cycle of unemployment, Muyingo said the program was specifically aimed at capacity building and changing the mindset of the youth to attain more skills. And of course, there ought to be a mindset change regarding the youth in terms of how they take this process of actually obtaining skills. And at this very hour, let's get into the international news. And of course, we are going to start with the Africa Adaptation Summit with WTO chief stresses on importance of free trade at Africa adaptation. And of course, regarding this particular report, the Director General of the World Trade Organization, that's Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has stressed the importance of the fee called the flow of trade in Africa to help to achieve the goals of global climate change. Several African leaders have criticized the lack of Western counterparts at the meeting in Rotterdam, where they pleaded for funds to help their countries adapt to global warming. And of course, as we continue, the summit, the first to focus on helping Africa adapt the fallout from climate change, brings together the African Union, the International Monetary Fund, and the Netherlands-based Global Center on Adaptation. African nations agreed at a summit in Gabon last week on a common push to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, a goal that scientists fear is increasingly elusive at upcoming UN climate talks. And of course, this has been a dominating talk regarding climate change. And of course, we saw a climate change by the global leaders that was in Paris. I think that was 2 years back or a year ago. I'm not quite certain, but it was in Paris discussing the global climate change and the ways, finding solutions on how to mitigate that effect. And of course, one of the solutions was the usage of electric energy and reduce on the usage of the fuel energy. And now let's cross over, that's to data privacy, as Instagram has been fined £405 million over, that's children data privacy. Irish regulators have fined Instagram $405 million for violating children's privacy. The long-running complaint concerned children's data, particularly their phone numbers and email addresses. To continue on that, some reportedly upgraded to business accounts to access analytic tools such as profile visits, without realizing this made more of their data public. Instagram's owner, Meta, said it planned to appeal against the decision. It is the third fine handed to the company by the regulator. The DPC regulates large technology companies with European headquarters in the Republic of Ireland. It has never given such a large fine for a breach of the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, but last year it fined WhatsApp £225 million, while Luxembourg's data authority fined Amazon a record of £746 million. The National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, that's the Child Safety Online Policy head, that's Andy Burrows, said of Instagram's fine. Okay, this is what he mentions about the fine of Instagram. This was a major breach that had significant safeguarding implications and the potential to cause real harm to children using Instagram. This is something to do with data protection, most especially regarding the children. That's Instagram fined that. And of course, that's really quite sad, and that's something that should be worked on. And now let's cross to Nigeria, and we are looking at the agriculture sector of that particular country. And of course, we are looking at food, the global food security, as Nigeria and Poland signed a memorandum of understanding on agriculture. And of course, that's something very remarkable for an African country, a memorandum of understanding between Nigeria and Poland. And of course, let's review this report a little bit brief. Nigeria and Poland on Tuesday signed memorandums of agriculture as part of a plan to strengthen global food security. The agreement was signed in the presence of President Muhammadu Buhari and visiting the Polish president, that's Duda, at the presidential Abuja, that's on Tuesday. This is just as both countries expressed concern over the negative effect of the Russian-Ukraine war, which both countries described as unjustified. President Muhammadu Buhari, in his address, commended the Polish leader that's for the assistance provided to the Nigerians fleeing to the Russia-Ukraine war, as well as those given opportunities to continue with their studies in Poland. The Polish leader, who is on a tour on some of the African countries, had arrived in Nigeria from Dakar, that's from Senegal. President Buhari also expressed hope for the extension of the cooperation in knowledge sharing in the areas of science and technology and information communication technology. in order to help drive innovation in our countries and raise cautious global economy. And of course, as we wind up this, the Polish president, in his response, described the Memorandum of Understanding in Agriculture as an immensely important document, especially in the light of the food security crisis that is faced right now in Africa, and not only by Nigeria, but also the entire African continent. He also expressed concern over global food security and energy security, especially in the wake of the ongoing, that's Russia-Ukraine war. That's it for the international news. Now let's get straight into the business tips and quotes. But firstly, let's take a look at the business tip of the day. And the tip of the day today, it says prioritize customer support. And of course, it says that prioritizing customer support gives your business a chance to turn unhappy customers into loyal ones. If you can't be there in a pinch, you can relieve the issue and deliver your brand promise. Prioritize customer support, and that's something very important. And this has been noticed most especially by the telecommunication companies, where you can actually call the customer, the call center, they call it the customer care, where you get to find out as the people express what they feel about the brand, about the product, and that's very initial. And actually, some potential companies, not only telecommunication companies, put up such initiatives whereby you can actually call the support centers, the customer support centers, to ensure that the customers are helped. In this way, customers feel loved. Of course, that's very important. They feel that you are really taking into consideration their grievances, what really matters to them. At the end of the day, they feel secure with your brand because they know where to report in case things don't go right. So in that way, they're going to be loyal to your brand. And of course, when they are loyal, they're going to be bringing in revenue for your company, and it's going to ensure the growth and development of your company. And that's something that has been really limiting a majority of the companies. And actually, let me say, it may not be really a company, but you could be having a business, but still you can tell a customer that in case of anything, that's why we have what we call guarantees. Somebody tells you if it doesn't work perfectly, probably in the past 6 months or the past year, return it back. That's another form of customer support, and in that way they feel security. And you know, when somebody feels secure about buying your brand, definitely they're going to recommend other people to come and check out your brand. And that's something to take. That's the tip of the day. And now let's cross over to the business quote of the day. Well, the business quote of the day today, it's by Tim O'Reilly, the founder and the CEO of O'Reilly Media. He says something here. Money is like gasoline during a road trip. You don't want to run out of gas on your trip, but you're not doing a tour of gas stations. Wow, very interesting quote, quite a very deep quote right there. Let's recite this again one more time. Money is like a gasoline during a road trip. You don't want to run out of gas. You don't want to run out of gas on your trip, but you're not doing a tour of gas stations. Of course, we all know when you want to get money, definitely you need to put up money together. And like he says, you don't really want to run out of gas. And of course, you're not doing a tour for the gas stations. So that is something very important for you to consider, that you should always make sure that actually your money is at hand, because your money is your engine to make much more money and you actually be successful. So financial discipline, a very important aspect for you to achieve success into your business, and the ability to maintain your success. And of course, to be, there was a statement that was made about maintaining something. And of course, let me say, if you want to achieve the millionaire status, you know, being a millionaire, if they say that you're a millionaire, it means you have the ability to maintain that. And of course, it takes money to maintain that. That's a very, very powerful quote right there. Very interesting and very deep. And actually, you can recite it further. You can actually get a deeper revelation. But that was my revelation regarding that particular quote. And that's it for this session. Let's get into a short commercial break. We shall be returning back with the Coffee Court. Good morning. Stick around.
Smart 24, driving business.
Either tell us what we want to know, or your story ends here. Are you ready to talk?
Oshitegeera kati sanyu ne boyfriend we bagoye bati oluggi nga muzeyi kirungi waliwo ankubirako wano mpeme dakika 2.
For stories you can't let go, only on Pearl Magic Prime. This is Jordan. When it comes to classwork, Jordan is magic. Jordan shines. Jordan makes his peers better. Jordan is a true leader. White Star Magic family. Be a leader. Be magic.
World Cup in the desert, the first one in the Middle East, the first to be held at the end of the year. That's crazy. Get ready for spectacular moves, high-flying saves, unbelievable goals. Out of this world celebration.
Would you believe it? What a moment here!
All 64 matches live. That's over 5,000 action-packed minutes of the FIFA 2022 World Cup Qatar. Now that's crazy. Catch all the action only on SuperSport, your world of champions. On Gold TV. Love it.
Family. He must have a maid because at our home we do not work.
Conductor Masao.
Why? Obadde olobye ku simu?
Ya munange anti yo TV enkolera.
Nyumirwa omulembe omupya ogujjudde ebisanyusa omuli emikutu gya TV egisukka mu 8 n'egya radio nga kwotadde ne zifirimu ng'osinziirira wonna w'oli. Genda mu App Store oteeke app ya YoTV channels ku simu yo olwo onyumirwe ennaku 3 ng'olabira bwereere ewatali kozesa data.
YoTV channels.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292#. Step 2. Select option 1. register with Zabu. Step 3, enter your full names. Step 4, enter your national identification number. Step 5, enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest.
Sasulira akasimu k'ekirooto kyo mpola mpola. Funa essimu y'ekirooto kyo leero ng'osasula mpola mpola okutandikira ku nnusu 14 n'ofuna data ow'obwereere okumala omwaka. Essimu zonna kugirako MB za 5 buli lunaku okumala emyezi 12. Osasulira omwaka gumu. Ziri mu maduuka ga MTN n'aga M-Kopa. MTN, everywhere you go.
Forget last season. Forget the oohs and ahs. Forget every moment that stole the show. Because the real show is here on GoTV. It's the new season. It's action-packed and it's going to be non-stop football. With over 1,000 games from more than 7 leagues and cup competitions plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seat in the house this new football season. Get a GoCoder with 1 month of GoTV value for only 25,000 Uganda shillings and enjoy non-stop football. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
Smart 24, driving business.